students, today we are going to start with topic number 2.6, accuracy, precision of instruments and errors in measurement. We know that for any measurement, instruments are required. That is, if I want to measure the length of any object, then I need a scale, a meter rule. Means instrument is required, and any instrument can have errors in it, and so there is need to resolve the error also. Any instrument has its accuracy as well as precision. So now first of all we will learn what is accuracy and the precision. Now accuracy means how close the measured value is to the true value. Means whatever values we are measuring, are they close to the exact or the true value or not. If it is closer to the actual or a true value, then we can say that the measured value is accurate. Otherwise, if it is not close to the actual value, then the accuracy is not good in the measurement. Here I have given an example of a clock. Clock measures the time. So here three clocks are taken. One clock shows the standard time. So one is the standard clock, and the remaining two clocks, they also show the time, but their time is not matching with this standard clock. Now if I check for the first clock, it shows the time 10 hour and 9 minutes, but the standard clock shows 10 hour and 10 minute. So here the difference in the time is 1 minute. Now if we'll compare with the second clock, here this second clock shows the time 10 hour and 12 minute. If I'll compare with the true value of the time, that is with the standard clock, then here the difference between these two time is of 2 minutes. You can see here there is 10 minutes here, and here there is 12. So it is clear that this first clock lags by 1 minute when compared with the standard clock, and second clock leads by 2 minutes. So the difference of the first clock is less than that of the second clock. So if we want to choose the time from this first clock and the second clock, then which time we will choose? We will choose for the first clock, because here the difference is less than the second, and so we can say that the first clock is more accurate than the second clock. So this is the meaning of accuracy. Now about precision. In precision, the resolution is considered. Now what is resolution? So remember, the resolution depends on the measuring instrument. Once again we'll consider three clocks. The first one will be always standard one, means it is a clock which shows a true value of time. Now here you can see that one more digit is there. There is hour also, there is minute also, and now it shows seconds also. Now if we'll compare first clock with this standard clock, then here the time is 10:10, but this clock does not show any information about the seconds. Only if we consider these two values, that is hours and the minutes, then we can say that this first clock is quite accurate. While if you see the second clock, it shows the time 10 hour 9 minutes and 15 second. So only you will, if you consider hours and minutes for first clock and second clock, and if you compare that with the standard clock, then definitely we can say that the first clock is accurate. But the difference is here that this first clock does not show any information of second. So this clock is not precise, while second clock is not accurate, but it shows the value of seconds also. And so this second clock is more precise than the first clock. So definitely now you came to know about what is resolution. Resolution means the up to which limit the given instrument measures the value. If it can measure the smaller values also, then it is more precise. Now students, in that previous topic of measurement of length, we have seen different instrument with which we can measure the lengths. We have seen that with the help of meter scale we can measure up to 0.1 centimeter precisely. Vernier calipers can measure even 10 times smaller than that of meter scale. So definitely we can say that vernier calipers is more precise than meter scale, because it can measure even the smaller values compared to meter scale. Now if we'll say about screw gauge or a micrometer screw, then even this micrometer screw can measure 10 times smaller than the vernier calipers. Means screw gauge is even more precise than vernier calipers, because it can measure 10 times smaller than the vernier calipers also. So if you are asked to select the instrument to measure a length of any object or radius of any object, then which instrument you will choose? Definitely you will choose the screw gauge, because it is more precise. Its least count is very less. Least count of vernier is 0.1, least count of micrometer is 0.01, and that of screw gauge is 0.001 centimeter. So precision depends upon the least count of the measuring instrument. So here I had given you the example of the measurement of length. So while measuring any physical quantity, either length, mass, time, temperature, etc., these two things are very important: accuracy and the precision. Now next thing is factors affecting the accuracy. While you measure any physical quantity, some factors they affect your measured value, and so the accuracy is affected. Suppose if one person is measuring the length of a block, so for that person the length came to be 1.56 meter. Now for a same block, if some other person is measuring its length, then he is getting the answer 1.59 meter. Students, here see the object is same, but the values which are measured are different by different persons. Even if a same person is measuring the length 2 or 3 times, it can happen then the measured values are different. It is because of some factors affecting this measurement. And if the measured values are close to the actual value, that is, suppose the actual length of this block is 1.58 meter, then we can say that this value, that is 1.59 meter, is more accurate than this. It is because the difference of this value, this second value, is 0.01 meter, while the difference of this measured value is 0.02 meter, and hence as the difference is less here for this second measurement, this is more accurate. So which things affect the accuracy? So first one is about the skills of the person. Instrument is given to the person, and how that person is using that instrument, that is important. So if the method of using instrument is not proper, or if we don't know how to use that instrument properly, then also this type of errors occurs and the accuracy is affected. So first factor which affects the accuracy is skill of the person who is measuring that physical quantity. Second is about the method used. Even for measurement, different methods can be used. So which method is used for the measurement of that physical quantity is also important, and even different methods has different accuracy. So method is also very important. For example, if there is a building and a person wants to measure the height of that building, so what he did, he used the method of putting a thread or a rope from the top of a building to the ground. So the length of this rope is equal to that of the height of the building, and afterwards what he did, he measures the length of this rope, which is now touching the ground from the top of a building. So he can use this method. In other method, suppose the person is using height and distance method, that is using Pythagoras theorem. Angle is subtended by the person from this point if this angle is known, and using the trigonometric ratios he can find the height. So the value obtained by this method using height and distance, that can be different. The height measured with the help of the rope, that can be different. Even there can be other methods by which this height of the building can be measured. So if the methods used are different, then also the physical quantity which is measured is different. Students, if I ask you which method is very good for measurement of the height of building here with the help of rope or by using height and distance method, so you must know that the method of this height and distance is quite accurate compared to that of the rope. Now, quality of instrument. If suppose the person using the method that is also proper, even the skills of the person while measuring that physical quantity is also proper. But if the instrument is defective, then also errors occur. And so even the quality of instrument is also one of the factor which affects the accuracy. Fourth factor which affects accuracy in the measurement is external and internal factors. Now external factors are like pressure, temperature, etc., while internal factors can be the structure of the material, of which molecules they are made up of, etc. Now, if I give an example of measurement of metallic rod, suppose at normal temperature, if I measure the length of this rod, then if it is giving the value 1.5 meter, then in summer, if I measure the length of this rod, in summer we know that the temperature is more, and so due to that what happens, this metallic rod will expand and its length will increase. And so the same rod, when if it is measured in summer, that is at some higher temperature, then its length will get increased. If I'll measure the length of this rod in winter, then due to the contraction its length will be smaller than this one. So even the temperature can affect the value of measurement and so the accuracy. So now students, it is clear that there can be difference in the measured values. So due to this difference in the measured values, there arises an error in a measurement. Now this error is nothing but it is inaccuracy in the measurement, and this type of errors can be categorized as systematic error and the other is random error. Now here it is given that in a systematic error, the error can be either positive or it can be negative. Why this type of error arises? So it can be due to instrumental error, means if the instrument has error or if it is defective, then it will show one kind of error. If the instrument is showing a positive error, then that instrument will always measure with the values which has error, and always that error will be positive for that instrument. And suppose if I'll take another instrument and if that instrument is also defective, then that shows the negative error for the measurement of one particular object. And if I use the same instrument to measure the other object, then also it will show the same type of negative error. Even the imperfection in the experimental technique, means if some person is using that technique and if the errors are arising, then that error will be in one direction only. either positive or negative, and sometimes the personal error also arises. Means if the person is not doing the experiment properly, taking some disadvantages, or if he is not. So now students, it is clear that there can be difference in the measured values. So due to this difference in the measured values, there arises an error in a measurement. Now this error is nothing but it is inaccuracy in the measurement, and this type of errors can be categorized as systematic error and the other is random error. Now here it is given that in a systematic error, the error can be either positive or it can be negative. Why this type of error arises? So it can be due to instrumental error. Means if the instrument has error or if it is defective, then it will show one kind of error. If the instrument is showing a positive error, then that instrument will always measure with the values which has error, and always that error will be positive for that instrument. And suppose if I'll take another instrument, and if that instrument is also defective, then that shows the negative error for the measurement of one particular object. And if I use the same instrument to measure the other object, then also it will show the same type of negative error. Even the imperfection in the experimental technique, means if some person is using that technique and if the errors are arising, then that error will be in one direction only, either positive or negative. Even personal error can also arise due to negligence of a person doing the measurement or any experiment. Then about random error. Random error can be positive and negative at the same time. These random errors can arise due to some unknown factors. The factors are not known. They can be due to that pressure, temperature, etc. If this type of factors affect which are not known to the person, then such type of errors are arising. So students, from today's discussion, it is clear that there is a chance of errors in the measurement of any physical quantity like length, mass, time, temperature, etc. But if there is an error, then it is required to estimate that error. Means how much the error is, that is to be known to the person. So in our next lecture, we will study about the estimation of the errors.